The shocking truth about mornings and your heart. Did you know your heart is most vulnerable in the early hours of the day? Yes, that quiet moment right after you wake up when you think you're safe. But in truth, your heart could be one bad habit away from disaster. It's a fact that surprises many, yet it's backed by decades of medical research. Heart attacks are statistically most likely to occur between 6 a.m. and noon. Why? Because of what your body is doing behind the scenes. Your cortisol levels surge, your blood vessels tighten, your blood becomes stickier, and your heart rate spikes. That peaceful moment with the birds chirping outside your window, it could be a battlefield inside your chest. But here's where the story takes a twist. It's not about fear, it's about power. Because once you understand what's happening in those morning hours, you can reclaim control and protect your heart with one simple routine. I had a patient, a 67-year-old retired teacher, who never missed a morning walk until one winter, she stopped for just 2 weeks. Within days, her blood pressure spiked, her energy crashed, and she ended up in the ER with chest pain that felt like her body was screaming for her to get back to that one habit. Her case wasn't unique. Across my 20-plus years in cardiology, I've seen one consistent truth. The way you begin your day determines how well your heart can carry you through it. Yet most people still do the exact opposite of what protects them. They skip breakfast, rush out the door, check emails before they've even stretched, and they wonder why they feel anxious, tired, or worse. But here's the most powerful part. There's one morning habit, doctor-approved and backed by clinical studies, that can dramatically reduce your heart risk without medication, without fancy equipment, and without more than 5 minutes of your time. It's so simple, so basic, and yet so ignored that it almost feels like a secret. And I'll share it with you soon. But first, let me break a myth wide open. Your genetics do not control your heart fate. Not fully. Yes, they play a role. But studies from the American Heart Association and countless longitudinal health surveys have proven that daily habits, especially morning ones, have a far more immediate impact on blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, and inflammation markers than the genes you were born with. This means you're not doomed by family history. You're empowered by your choices. So let me ask you, how do you start your morning? Are you reaching for your phone before your feet touch the floor? Are you skipping hydration and jumping straight into stress? If so, you're not alone, and it's not your fault. Most of us were never taught that your first 30 minutes after waking are sacred time for your heart. They're your golden window to protect the most important muscle in your body. And the truth is, the modern world has hijacked your morning. Notifications, traffic, caffeine overload. It all comes rushing in before your heart even gets a chance to find its rhythm. But now you get to reclaim it. And I'm not talking about a complicated morning ritual with cold plunges and green juices, though those have their place. I'm talking about something so deceptively simple, it might feel like you've overlooked it your entire life. That's why this video and this article matters, because once you learn this morning habit, and more importantly, why it works, you'll never see mornings the same way again. You'll feel calmer, clearer, and most of all, safer. And isn't that what we all want in this stage of life? To not just live longer, but live stronger, with confidence in every heartbeat? In the next part, I'll show you exactly what this habit is, how it protects your arteries, balances your hormones, and reboots your cardiovascular system like a gentle engine tune-up. You won't need to buy anything. You won't need to take a single pill. But you will need to unlearn a few things you thought you knew about how mornings are supposed to start. Are you ready? Because your heart's been waiting for this. And just wait until we get to number 1 on the list. It's something almost no one does, but every cardiologist I know swears by it. Before we go further, take a second to subscribe if you're watching this as a video, or bookmark this article if you're reading. This journey is just beginning, and what comes next could quite literally add years to your life. Let's protect your heart together, one morning at a time. The morning habit that could save your life, revealed. It's not a secret anymore. In fact, it's something your body's been asking for every morning, quietly, consistently, and desperately. Yet most people miss it completely. If you ever felt groggy after waking up, if your heartbeat seems irregular as you sit up in bed, or if you feel lightheaded walking the bathroom first thing in the morning, then what I'm about to share might be the most important shift you'll ever make for your heart. You don't need a treadmill. You don't need green smoothies or complicated rituals. What you need is something so deceptively simple you may laugh when you hear it, but your arteries won't. The single most doctor-recommended, clinically backed habit to protect your heart in morning is drink a full glass of room temperature water within 10 minutes of waking up before coffee, food, or screen time. That's it. One glass of water. No gimmicks, no supplements, no cost. But why does this matter so much? Here's the truth most people never hear from their doctors unless it's already too late. When you sleep, your body loses fluids through breathing, perspiration, and even the slow metabolic grind of nighttime repair. After 6 to 8 hours, your blood becomes thicker, your circulation slows down, and your heart, already strained by the natural cortisol spike of morning, has to work harder to push that thickened blood through your arteries. This is why so many strokes and heart attacks occur right after waking up. Your body is dehydrated, your vessels are constricted, and your heart is under pressure. Now imagine this. You wake up, you reach for your phone, you check stressful news, and then without rehydrating, you go straight for a cup of coffee, a known diuretic. You just made your blood even thicker, your vessels even tighter, and your heart even more vulnerable. But if you flip this one behavior, just this one, and make water the first thing that touches your lips in the morning, everything begins to shift. Your blood thins to a safer viscosity. Your circulation improves. Your kidneys begin to flush toxins. Your digestive system signals a reset. And most importantly, your heart gets the support it needs at the exact moment it's working hardest. I've seen patients reduce their systolic blood pressure by 10 to 15 points within weeks of adopting this habit. I've seen older adults report fewer dizzy spells, more mental clarity, and improved morning energy, all from one glass of water. You see, water is not just a thirst quencher. It's a cardiovascular tool, a biochemical primer, and a lifeline for your organs. And here's a little-known tip to make it even more effective. Add a pinch of unrefined sea salt or a few drops of lemon. Why? Because as we age, our electrolyte balance becomes more delicate, and starting the day with a boost of minerals helps restore hydration at the cellular level, not just in your bloodstream, but in your tissues, joints, and nerves. It's like charging your body's battery before asking it to run a marathon. Still skeptical? A study published in the Journal of Clinical Hypertension found that mild dehydration increased sympathetic nervous system activity, the part responsible for fight or flight stress reactions, which can raise blood pressure and trigger cardiac events. Conversely, rehydration calmed that system down. In other words, drinking water isn't just hydrating, it's grounding. It signals safety to your heart. But let's not stop at science. Let's talk about routine, because information is useless without implementation. So here's what I recommend. Keep a glass of water on your nightstand. The moment you wake up, sit upright slowly, take a few deep breaths, and drink that glass before you even step out of bed. Make it a ritual, a sacred pause before the chaos of the day begins. If you want to supercharge a habit, combine it with 2 minutes of deep breathing or gentle stretching. It amplifies blood flow and oxygen delivery to the heart. And here's something that might surprise you. Patients who made this their non-negotiable saw more consistency in other heart-healthy behaviors too. Why? Because habits stack. When you start your day with a victory, no matter how small, it sets the tone for better choices all day long. You're more likely to eat a balanced breakfast, move your body, and stay off your phone for a little longer. One action, one ripple, one shift. Now, I know it sounds too easy. We live in a world that rewards complexity, but don't let simplicity fool you. The human body is incredibly responsive to subtle, consistent care. And this morning habit, while small on the surface, has massive implications under the hood. Remember my patient Susan, the retired teacher I mentioned earlier? When she reintroduced this habit, water first, movement second, coffee third, her heart rate stabilized, her headaches disappeared, and her cardiologist reduced her meds. No magic, just morning mastery. So, if you ever wonder why your mornings feel sluggish, your chest feels tight, or your energy crashes before 10 a.m., I urge you to ask yourself, did I support my heart today, or did I stress it without even knowing? The answer may lie in your glass. Tomorrow morning, give it a try. No phones, no distractions, just you and your water. Let that be your quiet promise to your heart. I'm listening now. And if you're reading this and thinking, is it really that powerful? I dare you to try it for 7 days. Just 7. What you'll feel might change everything. And in part 3, we'll explore another morning myth that's quietly sabotaging your heart health. The way you eat or don't eat breakfast. Spoiler: skipping your morning meal might be hurting your arteries more than you think. So stay with me, because your morning routine is your first line of defense, and we've only just begun to build it. What most seniors get wrong about breakfast and heart health. For decades, many older adults were told that skipping breakfast could help with weight control. Some still cling to this advice, believing that eating less in the morning saves calories. But what they don't realize is that for a heart over 60, skipping breakfast is like trying to drive uphill with no gas in the tank. When you go too long without food, your blood sugar crashes, your stress hormones spike, and your blood pressure rises, creating the perfect storm for a heart strain. It's not just about eating something. It's about eating the right thing. Toast with jam or a sweet coffee might feel comforting, but it floods your system with sugar, triggers inflammation, and forces your heart to sprint before it even stretches. The worst part? Most seniors don't even notice the damage until years later, when plaque silently narrows their arteries. That's why a heart-smart breakfast must be protein-rich, fiber-filled, and balanced in healthy fats. Think oats with chia and walnuts, boiled eggs with avocado, or a smoothie with berries and flaxseed. These choices lower cholesterol, regulate blood sugar, and support steady energy, all without medication. So if you've been skipping breakfast or reaching for sugary options, it's time to rethink your morning fuel. In the next section, we'll reveal one silent mistake that's raising your blood pressure before you even leave the house, and how to fix it before it's too late. The hidden morning danger that increases your blood pressure. You wake up, shuffle the kitchen, and pour a fresh cup of coffee. Sounds harmless, even comforting, right? But what if I told you that this beloved ritual might be silently elevating your blood pressure, especially if done on an empty stomach? Here's the surprising truth. Drinking caffeinated coffee first thing in the morning, before water, before food, can cause a temporary yet dangerous spike in blood pressure, especially in adults over 60. After fasting all night, your body is in a delicate state. Your blood vessels are constricted, cortisol is peaking, and your heart is adjusting to a new day. Adding caffeine into that mix is like throwing gasoline on a fire. It overstimulates your nervous system, narrows blood vessels further, and may trigger arrhythmias in vulnerable individuals. The worst part? You might not feel anything unusual, just a little jitter, maybe some anxiety. But inside, your heart is working overtime. Over time, these morning spikes add up, quietly wearing down your arteries and increasing your risk of hypertension. The fix? Delay your coffee by at least 30 to 60 minutes. Start your morning with a glass of water and a small, balanced meal. Then enjoy your brew. This one adjustment, while small, could dramatically reduce your cardiovascular stress and support a more stable blood pressure throughout the day. In the next section, we'll explore a 5-minute morning movement that helps your blood flow freely, boosts circulation, and wakes up your heart gently and safely. Stretch, breathe, and flow. A simple 5-minute morning movement for a stronger heart. What if I told you that the way you move or don't move in the first 5 minutes after waking could shape your entire cardiovascular day? Most seniors believe that real exercise has to happen at the gym, involve sweat, or at least require sneakers. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Gentle morning movement, just 5 slow, intentional minutes of stretching and breath work, can unlock better circulation, reduce inflammation, and give your heart a smoother start to the day. Think about this. When you've been asleep for 6 to 8 hours, your blood pools in your lower extremities, your muscles tighten, and your lymphatic system slows to a crawl. Your heart, already contending with morning cortisol spikes and thicker blood, now has to pump harder against a stiff and sluggish body. But when you rise and gently stretch your arms, roll your shoulders, raise your knees, rotate your spine, and combine that with deep nasal breathing, something magical happens. Your veins begin to open, your lungs expand, oxygen floods your bloodstream, and your vagus nerve, the one that controls calm and balance, activates. This signals safety to your heart. The stress response dials down and your rhythm stabilizes. No weights, no mat, no pressure. Just you, your breath, and a commitment to move like you care. Studies from Harvard and Johns Hopkins have shown that even light dynamic stretches in the morning can reduce systolic blood pressure, enhance blood vessel elasticity, and improve heart rate variability, a powerful marker of cardiovascular resilience. And here's the best part. It only takes 5 minutes. You can do it right next to your bed. No excuses, no limitations. My personal prescription? 3 rounds of box breathing. Inhale 4 seconds, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. Followed by shoulder rolls, forward bends, gentle side twists, and ankle rotations. It's not yoga. It's not Tai Chi. It's heart flow. Try it tomorrow morning. And listen carefully, not to your phone, not to the news, but to your own body. You might just hear your heart say, "Thank you." Reset your heart rhythm. Why mindfulness and stillness matter in the first 10 minutes. In a world that demands movement, stillness has become radical, and yet it may be the most important medicine your heart receives all day. Picture this. You just woken up. The sky outside is soft and pale, and for a fleeting moment, the world is quiet. That is the moment when your heart is listening. It's adjusting to a surge in blood pressure, managing the shift from parasympathetic rest to sympathetic activity, and bracing itself for the demands ahead. Most people ruin this golden window without realizing it by checking emails, scrolling through negative headlines, or jumping straight into noisy routines. But what if, instead, you gave your heart 5 to 10 minutes of stillness? No phone, no noise, just focused breath and present awareness. Science calls it mindfulness. The body calls it safety. Your nervous system recognizes it instantly. Your heart rate slows, your cortisol begins to drop, and your vagus nerve signals calm instead of combat. Studies published in Circulation and Frontiers in Cardiovascular Medicine have confirmed that even short sessions of morning mindfulness can reduce resting heart rate, lower blood pressure, and improve arterial flexibility. Think of it like tuning a violin before a concert. Those few seconds of alignment lead to harmony that lasts. The best part? You don't need to sit cross-legged or chant a mantra. Just sit up in bed, close your eyes, and bring your attention to your breath. Inhale slowly. Exhale slower. Feel your body waking up from the inside out. Some seniors find this practice stabilizes their mood, helps with morning anxiety, and even improves digestion. It's not just mental. It's cardiac mindfulness. Just 5 quiet minutes may do more for your heart than a full hour of exercise performed in stress. So tomorrow when you wake, before reaching for anything external, listen inward. In that silence, your heart will reset and your day will follow. Build a morning routine that heals. Doctor's formula to start every day right. After guiding hundreds of patients through recovery, after seeing the difference between those who thrive into their 70s and those who decline too early, one truth stands above all. It's never one big thing that saves your heart. It's the small habits, repeated daily with intention. So now, let's bring everything together. If you want a morning routine that truly supports your heart, here's the doctor-recommended formula. Simple, realistic, and transformative. Step 1, wake up gently. Avoid alarms that jolt your system. If possible, use a sunrise clock or calming tone to allow your nervous system to rise calmly. Step 2, hydrate immediately. Drink a full glass of room temperature water within 10 minutes of waking. Add lemon or a pinch of sea salt if desired. This rehydrates your blood, protects your arteries, and primes your metabolism. Step 3, move with intention. Spend 5 minutes on gentle stretches, neck rolls, shoulder circles, side bends, forward folds. Let your breath guide the pace. Your blood flow improves, your muscles loosen, and your heart doesn't feel forced into stress. Step 4, practice stillness. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Just 5 minutes. Let your body check in before the world checks in with you. Feel your heartbeat, not as a background noise, but as your guide. Step 5, eat with purpose. When you're ready to eat, choose foods that calm inflammation and support cardiac rhythm. Think oatmeal with berries, eggs with greens, a smoothie with flax and protein. This fuels not just your energy, but your arterial health. If you stack these habits, just 5 steps in the first 30 minutes, You create a morning shield for your heart. Your blood pressure stabilizes. Your heart rate aligns. Your mental focus sharpens. And perhaps most importantly, you reclaim a sense of control in a world that constantly pulls you outward. Aging gracefully doesn't mean accepting decline. It means choosing habits that lift you higher day after day, heartbeat by heartbeat. Your heart is still listening. Now, it's your turn to answer with action, with intention, and with love. Let every morning be your medicine.